Hello, dears, and welcome to 2 parallel lines with a transversal. Okay, yesterday we talked about any lines with a transversal, so like they could be crooked, right? So like if I have these two lines and then a transversal, we talked about those. Now this is a step further. They're going to be parallel lines. So parallel lines have a little, they never ever touch, right? We got parallel lines, but there will always be an arrow on them, or you will be told they are parallel. So you can be told they're parallel. Let's find something. Okay, so let's see. These have that arrow on them, so I know C and D are parallel. The other way to write that is C parallel to D. So you're going to see that, and you can't assume they're parallel. You can prove they're parallel, but we will get there as we go. Okay, so when that is true, we have corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, and alternate exterior angles. So I'm going to take my parallel lines. Okay, these two are parallel. I'm going to cut them by transversal, and we're going to talk about which one is which. So corresponding are in the exact same spot, right? So if this and this are going to be equal to each other, they're going to be congruent because they're in the same spot. Similarly, alternate interior angles. So if you're on the inside and you're opposite, so that and that are going to be congruent to each other, as will alternate exterior. So that and that will be congruent to each other. We have a beautiful picture where you're going to make sure you understand these. So if I have corresponding, these are corresponding. They're in the same spot, right? I have alternate exterior. So that is like the stars up here are alternate exterior angles. These two are congruent to each other, as are these two, right? I just don't have it there. And then vertical angles, we know those are going to be equal to each other because they're vertical. So like, let's see an example of a vertical angle. This one and this one are vertical, so they're equal to each other. There's more vertical angles. And then alternate interior was the other one we just talked about. Alternate interior, like this black one and this black one. They're on the other side. They're alternate, they're interior. Cool. Now we also have same side interior and exterior. Same side stay supplementary, okay? Same side supplementary. So we got this and this. These are parallel lines cut by a transversal. So if they're same side interior, let's do that in purple. Same side interior, like you and you, are gonna add to 180. Or you and you, right? And then if you're same side exterior, you're gonna add, ooh, I already have a green. Same side exterior, you're gonna add to 180 as well. You and you would add to 180. They are supplementary angles. Those are like same side exterior would be this guy and this guy. And then same side interior is gonna be this guy and this guy. I've got a little sort where we can practice these. Sorry for the noise. Okay, so I know C and D are parallel. Identify all the numbered angles that are congruent to the given angle. Okay, given angle 72. Congruent to 72. Angle 2, because it's vertical. Then we have also congruent is going to be 7 because it is corresponding. It is in the exact same spot as the 72, just pushed down. So 7 is corresponding. And then 5 is also going to be congruent because 5 is vertical to 7 and it's an alternate interior to 72. Okay, identify all the numbered angles that are supplementary to the given angle. It got cut off. Okay, so supplementary is going to be 1 and 5, right? So I can make a straight line. I can make a straight line. Those are both going to be supplementary because they are linear pairs. So I've got 1 and 5. But I also will have a same side exterior. 7. Same side exterior is going to be equal to 95. Or no, supplementary to 95, excuse me. Angle 7 because it's same side exterior. And this also kind of makes sense because we know that like this will be 95, right? So that means this will be 95. So 180 minus 95 will get me, see, they're not all congruent to 95, right? They're supplementary to 95. So like, what is that? 85? No. 75. So that means this thing is going to be 75, and this is also going to be 75, and this is also going to be 75, and 3 is actually also going to be 75. It's just not on. It doesn't really have a relationship with the 95. Cool. Anyway, hope that makes sense. Let's keep on keeping on. So for the missing angle measures, all right, we have 2 parallel lines crossed by transversal. So measure of angle 1 is 65 degrees. So I'm going to color all my 1 65. So 3 is 65 because they're vertical angles. 5 is 65 because they're corresponding angles. 7 is 65 because it's vertical with 5 and it's an alternate exterior with 1. So I'm just going to label these for your help. Vertical, alternate exterior, corresponding. It is Y. Okay, gorgeous. This one we're going to do second. I think that's in the right order on your notes. Okay, these are both going to be parallel. It tells me A is parallel to B, C is parallel to D. Whenever you have the double, be careful, 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 and look at only one side at a time, okay? So like, I'm only going to look at this, parallel lines with a transversal, okay? Then I'm only going to look at this side, parallel lines with a transversal. And then I'm only going to look at the top, and then I'm only going to look at the bottom, because you have to break it up to make sure you're doing it right. So the measure of angle 5 is 70. So I'm going to find all mine that are 70 degrees. Oh, I didn't finish number 1, did I? Coming back, coming back, coming back. If those are all 65, I know all of these are going to be supplementary to 65. Whew, I got too much on my brain. So 180 minus 65 is 115. So all of my green ones are 115 degrees because they are all supplementary to that 65. Linear pairs, alternate, no, same side exterior, all of the above. It's like a little puzzle. Okay, now we're back here. 5 is 70. What else is going to be 70? 2 is going to be 70. I am just looking at this side right now, okay? 2 is going to be 70. 10 is going to be 70, and 13 is going to be 70. All of those are going to be 70 degrees. Now, we have 2 sets of parallel lines here. So when I look at the top, those are still parallel lines cut by a transversal. So it means, again, I have more corresponding and vertical angles. So let's see, 4 corresponds with 2, 7 corresponds with 5. And similarly, 12 and 15 will also be 70 degrees. Because I have parallel lines crossed by a transversal. So, if they are blue, they are 70 degrees. Blue is 70 degrees. All right, that means I can find the rest of these by knowing they're supplementary, okay? So 180 minus 70 is 110. So you're 110. And everything else that's green is going to be 110. Magical. Nice little easy puzzle for us to figure out. Now this one gets a little harder because I only have 2 lines that are parallel. This one and this one are my only 2 that are parallel. So I have to be a little bit more careful about what I'm looking at. Let's see, number 7 is 38. So 7 is 38 degrees. Well, what else is going to be 38 degrees? I'm going to have 5 is going to be 38 because it is vertical angle. Now, let's look at my parallel lines. I have parallel lines cut by a transversal. The transversal we're talking about is going to be on this bottom. My parallel lines are circled, and then I have a transversal cutting them. This transversal is cutting them. So my other corresponding angles are going to be 13 and 15. Those are all going to be 38 degrees. Green is going to be 38 degrees. Which means I can figure out everything else on the bottom because it's going to be supplementary. So 6, 8, 14, and 16 are all going to be the same measure. 180 minus 38 is 142. 142 degrees should be U, and U are all going to be 142 degrees. So we figured out the whole bottom part. Now, the reason we can't jump to the top is because it is not parallel. This top line is not parallel to the bottom line. So like 6 and 2 are not the same size. 7 and 3 are not the same size because those are not parallel lines. So we're just going to zoom in kind of on the top half and see what we can figure out. All right, so I got 102 is 10. So let's do all my purples are going to be 102. I've got same side exterior. I've got alternate. I've got corresponding. I've got vertical. Beautiful. Alternate exterior, excuse me, and alternate interior. 2 and 12 are alternate interior. 10 and 4 are alternate exterior as you continue. And then let's see, that means 9 and 11 are going to be, let's just make all of these are going to be the same. And what is that? 180 minus 102 is 78 degrees. Okay, so that's us using this to figure out all my puzzles here. Beautimous. Now, we can also do the same thing with math. So like if we were going to do a proof, you could set up that this angle and this angle, first you'd have to know that these 2 lines are parallel. Then you know that angle and that angle are congruent because they're alternate exterior angles. That would be a reason on a proof. I'm not there yet. We're not there, but I'm telling you. So these 2 are equal. 8 plus 7x equals 85 because they're alternate exterior angles. Now I can solve for x. Minus 8 on both sides is 77. Divide by 7, x is equal to 11, and it just wanted x because we know that that is going to be 85 when we plug it back in. All right, yet again, I have parallel lines. I know the parallel lines cut by a transversal create these 2 are going to be same side interior, same side, supplementary. So they add up to 180. Well, y'all, this is even easier because if that's 90, that's also got to be 90. They're supplementary. That's got to be 90. That's got to be 90. You know, they've all got to be 90. So that works out for us. 23x minus 2 equals 90. 23x equals 92. What is 92 divided by 23? 4. Awesome. Those are vertical angles. Your proof would be vertical. X plus 7 equals 115. That's true because they are vertical angles. 9x equals 115 minus 7 is 108. Divide by 9, x is 12. All right, these get a little bit more tricksy just because they look funny, but don't be thrown off here. You're fine. Okay, I've got parallel lines cut by a transversal. So we're talking about these two angles. They are same side, so that means they are supplementary. So if I add these two up, they're going to equal 180. 2x plus 24 plus x equals 180. 3x plus 24 is 180. 3x equals, I don't have a calculator out. It's just dumb of me. 180 minus 24, 156, divided by 3 is 52. And so that would be 52 degrees, and 2 times 52 plus 24 more is 128. Add those two, it's 180. We got it right. Cool. Just checking. Again, y'all, looks silly. It's not. You're going to be fine. I have parallel lines. And then the transversal they're talking about is going to be this one, because that's the one that shares, right? So we're talking about these two angles. Those are going to be same side. No, those are going to be corresponding. Because this one's on top, that one's on top. Those are corresponding angles, so they're equal to each other. Y'all, look at my pick. So here, here, here. It's this one and this one. They're in the same spot. So 4x minus 12 equals 3x plus 6 minus 3x on both sides. X minus 12 equals 6. Add 12 to both sides. X equals 18. Rock on. And we could double check our work, right? 4 times 18 minus 12 is 60. And 3 times 18 plus 6 should be 60. Woohoo, we got it right. All right, last one. Parallel lines cut by transversal. U. And there's my transversal. So we're talking about alternate interior. Alternate interior are going to be equal to each other. 2x minus 40 equals x plus 10. Minus 1x gives me x minus 40 equals 10 plus 40 to both sides. X is 50. So that's going to be 60, and that's going to be 100 minus 40 is 60. Rock on. Getting it right. Lots of 60-degree shapes here. We're going to memorize this. We're going to practice this. I've got Kahoots. I've got quizzes. We're going to memorize these. And your homework. Which one's which and why? Best of luck.